All right. So, I'd like to remind everybody, Sarah's got the raffle, the 50-50 raffle, and I know I keep saying that, but it's still true. So, at this point in our night, I'd like to welcome a friend of ours from Mission USA. So, what's his name? Glen Fitzjerrell. Let's give it a hand for Glen.
I appreciate that incredibly stirring introduction. I told Brian I wanted to sing several ballads that I had written myself that were heartfelt, and he said no one wants to hear that. So I'm just going to talk about my ministry, if that's all right. I'm here because I am pumped about Tiny House, and I want you to be pumped. Yes, I'm glad. You can do it. You can get excited. Here's the thing. I've been doing prison and urban ministry now, and I'm closing in on my 30th year. Yes, you can clap for that too. I encourage clapping. I had my hair when I started. I was pretty in the face. Ladies loved me. You're good. But the years have taken their toll, and I show in my face how long I've been doing this. But I'm excited about tiny houses because of the work that I do with guys behind bars, the work that I do with people in residential drug rehab programs, because I think there's this myth that we have that these problems we see on the streets are the problems we see in the jailhouse, you know, all this stuff with the politics of the city and, you know, we get this idea, this is unsolvable stuff. We could just never put a dent in it, and all this is impossible. That's all a lie. That's not true. The truth is, taking just a bit of time to help one person can have a ripple effect leading out to other people. We need to have a vision of putting our hand to the plow and recognizing we can have a huge impact in this community, in this world. We can have a huge impact in the lives of individual peoples. And this is not rocket science. If I can do this with a terrible, terrible attitude and no hair whatsoever and minimal energy, you guys can do so much more. Amen? Okay, we're getting amens and clapping. We're getting something. Oh my goodness. I wrote down many other important things to say. Oh, so I want to talk about what I do. This is started in prison ministry many years ago in Texas, where I'm from. And I came to Chicago because there was a ministry here that was working with people behind bars and on the streets. At the time, none of that was going on. The way that they did that was to work with gang members. You talk to a gang member and introduce him to Christ while he's locked up, and then that guy would introduce you to the guys in the neighborhood. So that opened up that door. This worked well enough that I had way too many people to minister to than I had the time or ability to minister to them. So the next logical thing is, well, we have to get churches involved in that. I had a sense as a prison ministry prison ministry professional and an urban ministry professional at that point, that the church really sucked and they would do a terrible job with it. And I've mostly changed my mind, which is awesome. But what we started saying is, okay, if we had the best pastors we could find in this town, we went in, we dressed down, we go in their church on Sunday morning as if we were right off the streets and see how they deal with us, then I could go from church to church to church, and I could send out my staff and volunteers, and they could visit churches on the down low, and if they not only welcomed us, but were excited about us being there and ready to love on us, then we could go out and find a rotation of amazing churches all over the city. Different preaching styles, different denominations, different praise and worship styles, all that, so we would have a good variety. So once we found those churches, we went to those pastors individually. And I said, we've got guys coming out of jail, we have people coming off the streets, we have people coming out of residential programs. They're all going to come to one meeting. This is every Tuesday night. And when they get there, we have done work with them. We've done Bible studies on the deck while they're locked up. And when they get out, they're ready to plug into this church. Now I'm going to ask you whether you want to participate in this program, and the answers is going to be one of two. Answer one is hell yes. Answer two is don't bother answering, I don't want to hear it. So you had to show me passion and enthusiasm in order to be a pastor coming to this meeting. You had to be absolutely passionate, pumped up, excited to get there. We kissed a lot of frogs till we found our princess, I must say. But sooner or later, we managed to get a rotation. We figured, okay, we're going to have 3 pastors come every Tuesday. They're each going to give a 10-minute message. We are going to pick what they talk on because why would we leave it up to them? We're going to say that someone who's having a struggle at this meeting is going to write it down, and they're going to put it in a box, and then we take that and type it up, we hand it to the pastor and say, that's what you're preaching on, you've got 10 minutes. We have 3 different pastors each Tuesday, and then we rotate them around. So you just come to one meeting, all the best pastors in the city of Chicago parade themselves right in front of you, and they all invite you to their church. And you can pick any one you want. These are all going to be slam dunk, excellent, amazing choices because we've gone out and found these people. We have been doing that very thing for every single Tuesday for 14 years. Okay? That's what we're talking about too. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you about that. I have more fun doing that than you can possibly imagine. I mean, my life is so much better than really probably most of yours. It's crazy. It is the most fun I can possibly describe to you, to work with these people and to see them growing, to see them moving forward and changing. And I see pastors walk into this room on Tuesday, well, it's in a basement, you know, they come in, and these are people right out of rehabs. We go and send them back to the rehab, pick them up, bring them in. These guys are right out of the jailhouse that we worked with while they were behind bars. These pastors walk into this room, and immediately it's, I've got to have this in my church. I need this kind of passion, this kind of authenticity, this kind of commitment, this kind of drive. This is what I need to get rid of some people, get them out of the way so I can bring these people in to turn the rest of them around. See, we had a vision from the beginning of, don't let me talk to you about poor people, ex-cons, gang members, people dealing with addiction. Don't let me talk to you like I want you to take them from busted to slightly less busted. That's not interesting. These people are going to go from busted to leaders in the family of Christ. That's what's going to happen. Amen? That was the issue. That was the drive. That's what we were looking to do. Hello? I don't really need it. Oh, there it is. So we had that drive that we could take these people from the bottom to the top. A couple of weeks ago, we had one of our guys that we had raised up through the program. This is an individual that he was homeless. He was living on the streets for many years. He was addicted to heroin. He was addicted to crack cocaine, and he had completely ruined his life. He ended up in jail. He had an opportunity to go to St. Leonard's, a residential drug rehab, and we bring guys from that program to the bridge. So he started attending the bridge, and we said, when you get out, we want you to be a deacon. We want you to be one of our helpers. So you make announcements and help people find housing, help people find rehabs if they need it, help them find food programs if they need it. Because people come to this meeting, they need Jesus, but they need these other things too. So you're going to show them how to do that. So we have these people that we've raised up, now they're raising other people up. We're setting them up and putting them in a position where they can lift others up. See, the mentality we have about all of these things is that we think we just want to try and make this a few degrees better. And I think that's the wrong attitude. Let's raise our vision on this thing. The strength it takes to climb up out of this pit creates an entirely different human being. This is a person who has superpowers. This is a person who understands something about life the rest of us maybe only have a hint of. If you have the strength to climb up out of that pit, you have the strength to keep climbing up that mountain. That's what we want to do with tiny houses. Amen? This is amazing stuff. So now here's the deal. Here's the deal. Now you're waiting for the but. Here's the Okay. We've got, when we have people coming out of jail, we have them coming out of the rehabs, we have them coming off the streets, they're coming to this meeting. When we get there, we get with them, what we discover is, if you need food, we have food pantries we can get you to. If you need a residential drug rehab, we have programs like that. If you're homeless and you need a shelter, we recommend Mr. Jeremy Nichols, who is a rock star to us. And you can clap for Jeremy Nichols. That's why we're always nice to him, because he's always doing us favors and everything. So we try, I'm going to try and buy Mexican food tomorrow. That's what's going to go on. But here's the thing. What we have, out of all of this, we can hook all these things up and get them into an amazing church. All that we can do. But there's one little gap here that we need to close. And here's what it is. I'm in a rehab. I can maybe get a little bit of temp work, but I can't get a whole lot of work in because I have to go back to the center and these kind of things. I don't have a car. I can't get around. I don't have a lot of money, so I'm getting out of rehab and I'm in great shape. I'm walking with the Lord. I'm coming to the bridge. I'm ready to move forward. But now I need a place to stay, and I really need to not go back with my family, my old neighborhood, and do that. I need a place of my own where I can transition to where we're going. So we need transitional housing. And so one thing in this town that's really, really, really tough to come by, and we work ourselves to death constantly trying to find that kind of housing to meet that kind of need for our men and women that we work with. When Brian came to me and told me about tiny houses, I was sold in the first 5 minutes. And this is what we need, this is it. But then there's one other thing I want to tell you about tiny houses before I walk away here. That really impressed me is that when part of my job is working with those pastors that I bring into